Hello and welcome to the JokerOutSubs podcast. For this episode, I sat down to chat with Anja, who was the original creator of JokerOutSubs, to get all the behind-the-scenes details in honour of our anniversary. We hope you enjoy. So, hello and welcome to the podcast, Anja, which does feel very strange to say because you're one of my mates and you're now a guest on the JokerOutSubs podcast. So, can you start off by telling us, well, who you are, where you're from?
Yeah, so hi Grace and hi everyone. I'm Anja, I'm from Slovenia. I come from the western part of Slovenia, Primorska region. And basically I'm a teacher, a translator, and I also work in marketing, so I've had some experience with translating from English into Slovenian and the reverse. And basically as of last year, so from May 2023 last year, I am also the founder of JokerOutSubs.
Yeah, you are, and we all thank you for it. Though I don't like the word founder, I prefer CEO or queen. CEO. So, how did Joker Out first come into your life then?
So, obviously being Slovenian, I heard like some of their songs like playing on the radios or like in TV ads. Like if you would play Gola or Vem da greš to me, I would recognize it. I wouldn't know, however, who it was by. Like the name Joker Out was kind of familiar to me, but just like from hearing it randomly on like radios and like announcements for like concerts nearby, but I didn't know anything about them. Like I didn't know how they looked, like anything.
So you didn't have the most important information. You didn't,
no,
yeah.
I didn't. But I was always kind of a Eurovision fan. I wouldn't say I was like really invested in the fandom, but I watched it every year. Like I watched everything that happened, like in both semifinals and in the final. And so I've heard about them participating in Eurovision when it was announced, and I followed them on Misia Liverpool, like with everyone else, just like everyone else did. So that was how I first found them and first saw how they looked, how they sounded live. So yeah.
Yeah. So that's. I mean, I would have thought as a Slovenian fan, you might have had that kind of broader awareness of them before Eurovision, but it seems like you kind of got into them at the same time as people all around Europe did. So I have to wonder, what was that like for you as a Slovenian woman, seeing this Slovenian band that suddenly has fans from the UK, from Finland, from Sweden, from all over Europe?
Yeah, so at first, obviously, like I would get content about them from like Twitter timeline. And I didn't find it that weird because I'm from Slovenia. I thought obviously it's the algorithm pushing them,
yeah.
And that's why I'm seeing all this content. But then it kind of started like really like I started seeing like TikTok edits about them. Like there were fan arts created, and like the whole fandom started like forming on these platforms where fandoms usually form, like on Tumblr. And this was something totally unusual for me because we've never had an artist like that in Slovenia or even a famous person that has this kind of fandom. So this was totally new and totally unbelievable for me. And I remember going to Zorica meet and greet, which was their meet and greet right after Eurovision. And I was very, very new to fandom. And I met some other fans there, and some were old fans, some were new fans, and we were discussing about how insane all of this is. And because we just didn't know, like, is this stopping? Is this going on? And someone who was there told me, I can see great things happening in the future for this band. And
that's so nice. And they were absolutely really correct. Yeah, for sure. So obviously after that, you became quite a big fan of Joker Out. And you started up what I suppose we could consider one of the biggest fan projects out there, which is JokerOutSubs, you know, a platform dedicated to translating as much Joker Out content as possible into all sorts of different languages. So can you tell me then, how exactly did JokerOutSubs begin?
So right after Eurovision, I was like, I really like where this is going. I love the response that they're getting from the fandom. And I kind of wanted to get involved myself as well. So just for fun, I like uploaded some TikToks. And one of the first ones that I uploaded was like a small clip from Cvetlicharna, which I put subtitles on.
Was that the one of Bojan explaining the story behind Nagovry Večetem?
Yeah, this was exactly the one.
Do you know what? I think that was like the first like Joker Out related thing that was non-Eurovision that I ever saw. So yeah, thank you for that.
And I remember that the response was just like mind-blowing. Like it got so many comments and people that were like commenting about how beautiful they found Slovenian language and how they wanted to start learning Slovenian because of this band. And this was just like something totally new to me. And so I kind of at the same time started chatting with some other fans who were also Slovenian. And one of them was Eli, who is Illyrian_X III on Twitter. And she was the one who kind of like pushed me to start translating more and to like start this whole thing called JokerOutSubs. Because I didn't dare to like commit at that point. I was just like a normal like fan. And she was like, yeah, go for it, like just go for it. And then from then on, it's just like really everything started happening. Yeah.
So you had just like a handful of people at the beginning. So what was it like behind the scenes of JokerOutSubs then, when it was just a few people? You've just set up these, platforms on Twitter and YouTube and whatever. What was the experience like?
Yeah, so basically we were like, because now there's a few of us, let's take on a bigger project, which was like translating the whole Cvetlicharna. And we were just doing it like from a spreadsheet, like an Excel spreadsheet where we put lyrics of all the songs. And then we just manually input everything into a YouTube video on like our YouTube studio. And all the connecting speech was done manually, like directly on the video. No review, no nothing.
Oh my God.
So this was like really, really different from what we have right now.
And no like reviews or checking or anything?
Nothing.
Oh my God. It's so bizarre to imagine that now. I mean, I couldn't imagine any of us like manually putting everything into YouTube Studio without having it all reviewed and all sorts. Yeah, so definitely very, very different now. So with all of those changes that have happened over the last year, I mean, what would you say have been some of our biggest changes or developments?
I mean, obviously the first big change was just like getting more organized and to get like stuff written down first and then reviewed. And then you came in with a native English review, which was such a huge help. Like it really elevated our translations onto a next level because we have like a native proofreader now and more people.
We have loads now, don't we? Yeah,
we have loads, exactly. Like more people joined who also do native proofreading right now. And I think this is just something that made our translations so much more professional. And then of course the whole team that's behind it, that's like expanded, like graphic designers, video editors, social media team who like take care of our translation. Like once the Slovenian speakers are done, they basically take over and do the rest of the process, which just like helps us out so much.
Yeah.
So it's a whole process.
Oh, for sure. And of course, in those really early days, when it was just kind of a handful of you doing it as you go along, we certainly wouldn't have been in a position to do interviews with the band. And now, of course, we are making original content at JokerOutSubs, which is kind of insane when you think about it, isn't it?
Yeah, so I obviously never imagined that we would get to this point where we would be releasing interviews with the band. So this is still surreal to me, actually. I don't know how it's happening, but it is. And I'm really like so proud of the entire team, like how well everyone managed to like execute like all the interviews. All of you guys were like just amazing, and I'm so proud of how professional you were. So it's something that like it really makes me proud, really.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that people don't always necessarily realize the kind of work that goes into like every single translation. I mean, not just the sort of the bigger ones or whatever, but even a couple of minutes of translation. For us, it's an awful lot of work to get it out to the quality that it is. And obviously we've now made our little welcome to the backstage video that people can check out for all the details on it. But I've often thought that I don't think any of us would put in the kind of hours that we do if it was just about like being a fan, having some fun, that kind of thing. I think we've all got our own reasons for being a part of it. So what's your reason then? When we do have those times where it does feel like hard work, like stojits a week, when we were churning out things at a ridiculous rate, what keeps you going?
Well, it's basically seeing just how hardworking and how passionate the whole team is. Like, this always gives me so much enjoyment, and I have like a whole team of enablers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because like no idea is too out there, too much, because everyone is just ready to work and to do everything possible that we make those translations happen or have this video out by this time that we've set for ourselves. So really all of this is possible because of everyone's dedication. And I think I called this before like people with big dreams and empty wallets.
Yeah. And it's so accurate. It's so accurate.
Yeah, it is, because we really just have like minimal resources that everyone can get at home, you know, like our laptops, our computers, our mini mics, and we make everything possible just with that. And I'm like so proud because it really shows how passionate everyone is. So that's something like that gives me so much enjoyment.
Yeah, and I think as well, I mean, I've always really enjoyed seeing how appreciated the translations are from the fan base, because I think, especially, I mean, I was a huge fan of JokerOutSubs before I joined JokerOutSubs, because I was like, I literally couldn't access the band at all and get to know their personalities and their history and all the lore and everything without the translations that you guys are doing. And I know now, being a part of it, I absolutely love seeing the comments that come in. And I know people regularly post them up on our Discord server, don't they? Like, I've just seen this really cute comment, like praising, you know, I think there was one the other day where someone had praised, like, our Japanese speaker and said, oh, it was so nice to see that with subtitles. And it's just, oh, that really keeps me going for sure.
Yeah, same for me. Like, big thanks to everyone who is like leaving these positive comments on our videos, because it just gives you like so much energy throughout the day. And like recently I saw someone who said that they became a fan of Joker Out very recently, and that it was so much easier to like find out stuff about the band and like hear the new unreleased songs like Stabichia and Bluesa because of us, and like stuff like that just gives me makes me so happy, because we're really helping out the band, I think. So yeah.
I hope so, yeah. No, that's really lovely. And I think, like I say, there's a lot that's happened in the last year. We've done a lot. We've got through a lot of work. And there's also been a lot of happiness and a lot of joy. And so I have to ask, what is your personal biggest moment in the history of JokerOutSubs?
I think it has to be the time when you read the message to them in London, like the message from Slovenian team. Yeah, because I believe that I was able to like let them know what they're doing is really so important to many of us, and I'm so happy that they heard this from the Slovenian team, because they really changed our lives for the better, and made us feel like, I don't know, like a family, like a community. So yeah, that was really lovely.
Yeah, and I think as well, I know it's been really interesting as an international fan to see the impact of that, because obviously, as like I come from the UK, seeing a popular artist, you know, hold up a pride flag or something, it's not particularly unusual. Even though, of course, there's still discrimination in the UK, it's not unusual to see public figures publicly supporting it. And so it's been so interesting to see the impact on Slovenian fans. And I feel very honoured that you guys trusted me to deliver that message to them. And I think definitely it was a special moment for us. I think it was a special moment for the band, hopefully, as well. And I know that definitely made some people cry in the fan base based on the comments that we got as well.
Yeah, and we almost made Boyan cry on camera as well.
Absolutely. It was very clear. I saw the tears in his eyes, so I think he was definitely moved by it, which was lovely.
Yeah.
And obviously you made it very clear in that message what the boys mean to you, what they're doing means to you. So what would you say that JokerOutSubs means to you? What would you say that this fan base has meant to you?
Well, basically, JokerOutSubs and also the fan base is, for me, a place where I feel safe and where I belong. I feel that I have a purpose, basically, and I made so many friends through like becoming a part of JokerOutSubs and also through like interacting with others in this fandom. Because I think that bonding with like everyone just made me more open, and I started like going out to concerts, like meeting new people. For example, the Copper concert was one of the first JokerOutSubs meetups, and that's also where I met you.
Yes.
And, yeah, and so many other like members from JokerOutSubs were also there. So from then on, I feel like we became even closer. And yeah, it was really such an amazing experience.
Yeah, and again, it's one that's shared by so many people. I mean, I've never known a fan base that's quite as much of a family as this one, in terms of, I mean, you go to any gig, there's people there who have met, who've become friends, who have traveled the world together, who have had so many wonderful experiences. And I often think, you know, if this gig didn't happen, you know, a lot of people's lives would be very different. And it's true of every single gig that they do, and that's a really wonderful, really special thing. So, as I say, it's been a crazy year. We're at our 1 year anniversary. We've got many more years left in us. So what do you see in the future for both JokerOutSubs and for Joker Out themselves?
Yeah, so I truly believe that Joker Out and JokerOutSubs will like keep developing like one with the other, and I truly see that the band will like still has so much potential, and like they can do so much more. So I really believe in them. And I also believe that we can be like really helpful on their way. Like
I hope so. Yeah.
We now have such an organized team, and everyone is so dedicated. Like it's not stopping or slowing down at all. Like whenever we see, I don't know, a new translation or anything that we need to work on, everyone grabs it, and it's like everyone is so excited that we have like new content. And so I only see this like growing and growing in the future. And obviously, like we have so many like specialists or like people who are literally working as a job in fields that can be helpful for them, like people from marketing, people who, I don't know, who are video editors, who are graphic designers. So we have such a talented team, and I can definitely see this being more and more useful in the future as well. And for example, recently I noticed that one of the interviewers also was using our interviews as her resource for like research.
Yes, that was the Finnish one, wasn't it? I remember seeing all the in the research section with all of the links that she'd put. It was like JokerOutSubs, JokerOutSubs, JokerOutSubs.
Yeah, exactly. And like this made me so happy because firstly we made her job easier by providing like content about them that's not so easily like easy to find on the internet because it's not translated otherwise. And maybe, I mean, obviously it's also useful for like other fans, but maybe in the future other interviewers can use more of our content too. So this is something that really, really excites me.
Yeah, and then hopefully if there's more researchers that, you know, more interviewers that have done lots of research, that have available research, it just means better interviews, more interesting interviews. And again, you'll just keep feeding the international fan base, Anja, as you have been doing for the last year.
Well, all of you and all of us.
All of us as well, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully then, when we get to our 2 year anniversary and we check in, we will have lots of more things to add, lots of wonderful stuff and lots of exciting things from Joker Out as well. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, exactly.
So thank you so much for sitting down with me today. It's been really, really interesting to hear all about JokerOutSubs in those early days. So thank you so much. And I have to say happy anniversary as well.
Thank you. And thank you, Grace, because like you are really such an important part of this community, and you make our work and our translations like so professional. So thank you for coming on our team.
Stop it, please. Spare my blushes, Anja. Well, thank you so much, and I'll see you soon.
See you. Bye.
Thanks for listening, and if you'd like to see more from JokerOutSubs, check us out on Instagram, Tumblr, X, TikTok and Facebook under the name JokerOutSubs.